Okay, my students, we are discussing our interesting topic, which is coordination and irritability. And here, my students, we are going to begin with our first subtopic, which is called the nervous coordination in mammals. So this subtopic is the first subtopic in the topic of coordination and irritability. It is very simplest subtopic, so you will understand. So here, my students, let's start to look what is this nervous coordination and what are the content which are found within it. So here we are saying that nervous coordination in mammals, as in other animals, nervous coordination in mammals is accomplished by the nervous system. Tukisema nervous coordination, so the word coordination means that connecting between two things, so that different kind of thing that can be achieved, that is coordination. Lakini sasa tukija kuongelea ile term yote ya nervous coordination, tunasema kwamba hapa tutaenda kuongelea kwa upana zaidi nervous system, zile nerves zote zinazopatikana ndani ya animal or ndani ya any kind of mammal. That we are talking about human being, we are talking about cow, we are talking about rat, we are talking different kinds of animal that are found within the mammal. So here we are saying that in the mammalian nervous system consists of two systems. Mammalian. A good example, my student, let's take an example, human being. Human being are found within the mammalian. Kwa sasa mammalian, they have two systems that coordinate any activities that occur within the environment. The first system, it is called the central nervous system. And the second system here, it is called the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, it is abbreviated by SNS. It's CNS, that is central nervous system. But also peripheral nervous system, it is abbreviated by the PNS, meaning that the peripheral nervous system. So ukikutana na hivyo vifupi usichanganyikiwe ukasema what are these? Those are the abbreviated terms that are used to explain coordination system which are found within the mammals. So when we are starting looking on the briefly central nervous system, here, my students, we are saying that the central nervous system is made up of the brain and the spinal cord, whereas the peripheral nervous system, it is made up by nerve fiber. So now you can see within the central nervous system, we have got only two things that constitute or that made the central nervous system. That is brain together with the spinal cord. Ndiyo ambayo inatengeneza central nervous system. Lakini tukija kuongelea peripheral nervous system, hapa tutaongelea kuhusu nerves fibers. So all fibers which are found within the human body are located on this system which is called the peripheral nervous system. So that is briefly, you have to know. When we are saying central nervous system, meaning that the brain together with the spinal cord, but when we are saying that the peripheral nervous system, that means the nerve fibers only. We are going to talk about it. So now you have to know that. And now when we are saying the nerve fiber that are found within the peripheral nervous system, here we can say that the nerve fibers branch from the central nervous system and extend all parts of the body. So hizi peripheral nervous system ambayo inakuwa ni nerve system, tunasema kwamba zimebi branched, yani ni matawi yaliyotokana kwenye ile central nervous system. So yakabi branch in all part of the body. Yamezunguka the all part of the body, that is the body of human being are surrounded by these nerve fibers that are attached within the central nervous system, including the brain and the spinal cord. And we are saying that coordination is accomplished through a set of signals channels into a series of nerve cells. tunasema ili coordination iweze kutokea, kuna different kinds of events, or tunaweza tukasema kwamba different kinds of signal or channels that must be followed so that the coordination can be accomplished. Let's take an example. You as a human being, you are in the forest, and thereafter suddenly you see the snake. So ile action baada ya kumwona yule snake, either ukakimbia au ukazimia pale pale, hile ndio tunasema kwamba ni coordination. It is tunasema kwamba it is a signal, that is a signal channel of series. Yaani ni matokeo ambayo yaliokuwa kwenye mpangilio fulani ili ile coordination iweze kutimia. So ile action au ile response that utakayo i-provide baada ya kumuona yule snake ndiyo ambayo tunaita coordination sasa kwenye biology. So that is, we are going to read it on details, but here you have to know that the coordination comprised of a series of events that accomplish the word coordination. And also here, my student, we are saying that the nerves that transmit the signal from the body to the central nervous system are called the afferent nerves. And the nerves here include the sensory and the relay neuron. So we have nerves. These nerves, they are specialized for carrying any kind of signals from the outside environment to enter into the central nervous system. And that nerves are called the afferent neurons, including the sensory neuron together with the relay neuron. Hizo neuron mbili ziko responsible kwa ajili ya kuchukua impulse or signal kutoka kwenye outside environment or inside environment to enter into the central nervous system that include the brain together with the spinal cord for the interpretation. And also, my students, we can say that where the nerves which transmit the signal from the brain and are called the motor or the efferent neuron. Lakini sasa zile nerves ambazo zinakuwa zinachukua information kutoka kwenye brain kupeleka kwenye different kinds of body parts, that is either from the gland or kuenda kwenye muscles, hile sasa inaitwa motor neuron. I hope you know what is the motor neuron, what is the efferent neuron, but in details we are going to discuss in this session of coordination and irritability. So you'll be able to differentiate between these nerves. So note, there is something that you have to note. That is, nervous coordination enable the mammals to respond rapidly to external and the internal stimuli. Kwa ina maana kwamba nervous coordination ndiyo ambayo ina coordinate all activities that are occurring on the outside environment and the internal environment of an organism. So we have to read in details what are these nervous coordination. You remember, when we are saying that nervous coordination, including the central nervous system together with the peripheral nervous system, ndiyo ambayo sasa ina coordinate all activities which are occurring within the organism. That is internal environment together with the external environment. But my student, that is a briefly introduction. But also we have to know something that will help us to build up our understanding on the, when we are discussing about coordination. And that is the nervous tissue. We have to know before we are accomplishing to discuss the introduction of this nervous coordination, that is the nervous tissue. So we have to know what is nervous tissue and how is this used in the coordination. So here we are saying that the nervous tissue, the nervous tissue is a specialized tissue made up of the nerve cell or the neuron. Kwa hii nervous tissue imetengenezwa na neurons. So we have different kinds of neurons that are used to make this nerve tissue. So what is this neuron now? Here we are saying that a neuron is a basic unit structure of the nervous tissue which consists of the cell body dendrites together with the axon. Tukiongelea neuron, a good example, I hope you know what is the motor neuron. Motor neuron consists of the cell body dendrite together with the axon. So we're going to analyze this more further when we are discussing the neurons, the types of neurons that are found within the nervous system of one organism. So that's here, but you have to know that within the neurons is where now we have three parts. That is the cell body, the dendrites together with the axon. But when we are discussing about the nervous tissue, the nervous tissue make up the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Hii nerve tissue ambayo imetengenezwa na neuron ndiyo ambayo sasa inatengeneza au inaunda ile central nervous system pamoja na ile peripheral nervous system. That is CNS and PNS. So hatuwezi kuongelea central nervous system pasipo kuwepo na nerve tissue. So now you can see this nerve tissue is very important and it is very crucial in explaining the nervous coordination that are occurring within the animal or within the human body. So my student, for more clarification about what is this nervous tissue and how are they involved in the coordination that is occurring within the human body, is where now we are going to discuss it into details in the next session. So make sure that you have good follow-up for the next session, is where now we are going to discuss the nerves, the nerve tissue, including the neurons and so on. So by saying so, this marks the end of our today's session, and thank you for following us, Educator TZ. Bye bye. Have a nice moment.